Welcome to Robin and Rose.
We're a husband and wife team running a home-based online gift shop.
Join us in our projects as we DIY our way into building a better house and a better home. Okay, so let's start hunting for the parts that we need. Ang pinaka-convenient ngayon is to just go online. So either Lazada or Shopee yung go-to na online stores ko. You could also try Facebook Marketplace, especially for second-hand parts. For our monitor, we'll be doing that. We'll be going to look for a second-hand monitor sa Marketplace or maybe sa Tipid PC or some other forum. If this was, I don't know, 6-7 years ago, sa ano ang punta natin nito? Baka sa Gilmore. We'll walk around all the shops tapos we'll get the lowest price. Pero most of the shops there, online na din eh. So, yung time, effort mo, physical presence mo na pupunta ka doon, pamasahe mo pa lang tsaka pagod, tsaka yung oras mo, bawi ka na eh sa magkano lang ba yung shipping cost. So, let's start our hunt with our processor. So here we have the Athlon 200GE. Tapos ito merong na ito, so standalone na processor, it's at 2299. A bit above dun sa target natin. Ito naka-bundle siya with the motherboard, it's at 5,000. Both are a bit above yung target natin. So, dalawang model ng Athlon. Well, there's several Athlons in the lineup. Pero ang latest data is yung 3000G. And it's hovering around 4,000. Ano ito mahal? Let's try to limit sa local suppliers lang. Okay, so that's more like it. Mga 2,700 tong Athlon 3000G. And for the Athlon 200 GE, we have approximately 2,300 pesos. Let's check sa Intel side anong katapat natin. So Pentium, that's limited to local suppliers lang. So you have the G5 400 at around 6,000. Kaso this is probably overpriced. Ito, meron nagbebenta ng G5 400 at 2.6. There's a couple of lower models at 2.5. Ito pala. Minsan nakakalito all these numbers and parts. Ano pinagkaiba ng Pentium G5 400 sa Pentium E5 300? Ano pinagkaiba nun sa i3, sa i4, sa i7, sa Ryzen, sa ganyan. A quick tip, kung magko-compare kayo ng parts, let's say itong specific na Athlon 200GE, ano ba pinagkaiba nito sa Athlon 3000G? Usually, you can just type it in, Athlon 200GE versus, ayan, and popular search siya, so lumilito kaagad siya. And maraming sites that offer comparisons. Itong CPU benchmark na to, usually ginagamit ko to. It presents a quick analysis ng two parts. If you're too lazy to read through everything, you can just look at dun sa average score na summary. So basically, the 3000G more or less is 10% faster than the 200GE. Kaso ang price difference is 2,300, this is 2,800. 500 pesos. So that's 500 divided by 2300. That's a approximately 21.7% price difference for a 10% performance increase. Now, dahil very tight yung budget natin, I don't think we can go for the price nito. We might have to go sa Athlon route. Let's compare these with, since we're comparing the 200 GE, let's compare it to the Pentium E5 300. Ito, malapit yung presyo niya. So just type it in here. Okay, so the E5 300, based sa results dito, ito, nakasulat din pala yung actual year release. It's a really old model. And the Athlon 200G smokes it in performance. It's roughly more than twice as fast. So, hindi sulit na buy itong 2,500 na to. Mas mahal na siya, mas mabagal pa. I think yung current Pentium itong G5 400. So, let's compare that one. Okay. So, the Pentium is actually slightly better, 20% better than the Athlon. So, that's good. That's good. Magkano siya? It's at 2.6. So, mas sulit siya kaysa sa Athlon 3000G in terms of processing functionality. Although may something hidden dito kasi we have what we call yung integrated graphics, which is yung graphics card basically built in dun sa processor mo. It also handles yung pag-display. Long story short, yung graphics nitong Athlons, both itong 300G and itong 200GE are significantly better than the graphics performance nung G5 400. And in our case, since we won't be getting a separate video card, we'll only be relying on the integrated graphics. I'm leaning towards the more balanced approach, probably one of the Athlons, dahil even though it's slightly slower in terms of processing, if you compare yung integrated graphics performance naman nila, ano ba yung integrated graphics ng G5 400? So, UHD 610. So, ganito lang din. I-type mo lang yung graphics card versus ano ba yung graphics ng ng Athlon 200GE. So, it has Vega 3 na graphics, and pag tinepo yun, it should show up dun sa one of the websites ulit, so you can compare it. So here we have a 40% better performance for our AMD na graphics yun sa Athlon. There's 40% na advantage sa graphics versus a 20% advantage sa processing power sa Pentium. Not to mention na mas mura itong Athlon, and the fact that we're already over budget. So I think for our processor, we'll have to go with the Athlon 200 GE. So the Athlon 200G is a 2-core, 4-thread processor. Tapos, Vega 3 yung graphics niya. You call this an APU, parang all-in-one na processing unit. Minamarket to ni AMD for yung budget lineup nila, which is what we are. In this case, tayo yung budget hunters. So we have a bunch of sellers na 2 what's the cheapest that we can get? Low to high. I wouldn't expect na bababa siya sa 1,800. So let's set that sa filter para matanggal yung mga miscellaneous. Okay, so we have one na 2,140. And it's out of stock. So for Lazada, meron lang tayo nitong 2,300 lang. Let's check sa Shopee naman. If we have better prices here. Okay, so we have one store, ito may 199. One piece available. Kaso this ships from Daro, Dumaguete City, Negros Oriental. Tapos mukhang private seller siya. Baka nabili lang niya yung hindi lang niya ginamit or second hand. If you look at the picture ng box, medyo parang UP na. So, tapos wala pa siyang ratings. So, if there's anything wrong with the shipment, pag dito tayo nag-order, I don't think kaya ma-replace kaagad or ma-refund. Or if ma-replace or refund ba nun, sobrang tagal, the response rate is low. I think private seller lang to. So, I think we'll pass on this kahit mas mura siya. 2.5. So, the only one with reviews is this guy. So, there's 4 pieces available kasi 2.5 versus yung 200G natin. Let's check a third supplier. Ito sa meron store itong Dynaquest sa may Makati. Para lang may third tayo sa listing. Kasi usually nandito yung major store, si ECPC, nandito na din sa Lazada. Kaso due to the COVID situation, I think naka-close yung shop niya. Let's check Athlon. So meron silang 2,150. Ang tanong is, available ba ito? Tapos, kung yung price difference is 150 pesos lang ba, is it worth it to order separately from here? Anyway, I think inote lang natin na 2,150 siya dito kay Dynaquest. Kasi siya yung cheapest na nakita natin eh. Tapos sa Lazada, itong 2,299. So, ilist lang natin tong sa Lazada price natin na nakita. Pero we'll put a note siguro na so meron tayong 2,150, but we also have to get the motherboard from them if ito yung kukunin natin. Tapos last time bumili ako sa kanila, pumunta ako sa actual shop eh. Kasi yung stocks nito nakascatter around several shops. So anyway, malapit na siya doon sa price. So malamang dito yung bagsak natin sa Athlon na to. I forgot to mention earlier, another site that's excellent to check out if nagka-canvas ka ng presyo ng mga pyesa is PC Express. I think sila yung unang gumawa nung lahat ng presyo ng products nila nasa iisang sheet of paper lang na back-to-back. So, kapag nagka-canvas ako sa mga stores dati, what I would do is head straight to PC Express, grab a list from them, and mag-iikot na ako sa lahat ng ibang stores sa paligid, and gagamitin kong benchmarks yung pricing na na bigay nila. So, you could head over dito sa website nila, pcx.com.ph, and you could download a PDF file nung piniprint out nila na pricing. So, it's very handy if you need a third listing ng mga presyo mo. Usually, maganda yung scope ng mga products nila. So, if you're looking for it, chances are they'll have a price dun sa product na yun. So, check it out, pcx.com. Next, so we'll have to look for a appropriate processor for a appropriate motherboard for this processor. Now I already know what the compatible motherboards are. Pero just in case kunyari hindi mo alam, type in mo lang 200GE what motherboard. And it should show a bunch of sites or links dun sa mga compatible niya. So sa Athlon 200GE lumalabas ito mga B450 and B450. Anyway, long story short, B450 and probably A320 yung number nung board na kukunin natin. Usually itong information na to, MSI, ito yung manufacturer, yung company. So MSI, Gigabyte, Asus, ASRock, yan yung mga companies na gumagawa ng boards. Yung code na ito, yung B450, A320, yan yung code ng chipset ng motherboard. Yan yung kailangan mo tingnan na number for compatibility. Tapos itong mga nasa dulo ng mga letters, numbers, pangalan itong Tomahawk Max, B450M, DS3H. Itong M usually sa dulo, it signifies micro ATX. Mas maliit yung board ng konti sa standard. Tapos sa dulo is kung ano man yung number ng specific model na yun. Okay. So, usually I hop into forums pag hindi ako familiar and get yung opinions ng ibang tao. So, ito, you can read kung ano yung details nila. Anyway, you could get a lot of information just by googling. Ako halos lahat na natutunan ko with regards to computer parts, at least yung current information ko is just by Google and YouTube. Okay, so the particular board we want to look for is I think yung cheapest is an A320 na motherboard. So just type in what we're looking for and we have our options, and let's set a target ng 1,500 tapos max 2,500 para naka-filter kagad. Tapos should come from local suppliers lang. So halos tanggal na lahat ng options natin. Ang naiwan lang ay itong MSI tsaka Emax na board. Out of stock and out of stock. So let's check sa Shopee. It's at the same filters, so 1,500, 2,500. Tapos mga local suppliers, North, South Luzon, maybe North Luzon, I think specifically kailangan, well, dito kay Shopee, pag hindi nagtugma yung search mo, halimbawa E320 lang, hindi nyo minamatch for some reason, which I think is stupid. So it appears karamihan ng model are for MATX boards, may M sa dulo. Okay, so we have... Bakit hindi lumalabas to sa filter kanina? Kinapit ko ng 1.5 plus 2.5. Cable apply. Hindi siya Metro Manila. What? Shopee is bugging out, man. Anyway, so we have this at 2,200 MSI Pro VH Plus, and we have this slightly more expensive AC20. Ano pinagkaiba nila? Once again, Google is our friend. So Pro VH Plus versus ano tong isa? Pro M2. I checked the manufacturer's website to compare the specs since I'm not familiar with these two boards. Between the two boards, the only differences were one didn't have an M.2 slot and a DVI output, both of which weren't needed for CAT's usage. Now, if kailangan natin ng M.2 slot na NVMe, we could go for this. Kaso, very tight yung budget natin. I'm not sure we'll be using HDMI din dun sa monitor kasi we'll probably be getting an old second-hand monitor, so malamang DVI or VGA lang din yun. I think we'll have to go for this. Kasi our budget is tight. It's really tight, man. So it's the Pro VH Plus. Motherboard E320M pala, sorry. And it's priced at 2,200 from Sec Computer Sales. Sa Lazada, puro out of stock. 2,200. Over budget na tayo kagad. First two items. Let's check out our RAM. So for our RAM, 8GB DDR4. Yung DDR4, if you're building computers na current, it's the current standard. For older computers, it will be probably be DDR3. Anyway, just keep in mind na DDR4 yung RAM for current computers. And sa filtering, once again, limit natin sa local na suppliers lang. And let's set our budget around the 1,500 to 2,500 na price range. So marami bang results? So 4 pages ng results. Let's sort it from low to high. We skip the DDR3s, we don't need those. Ito, so our first na possible match, 1950 Kingston 8GB CL19. Now sa RAM, you need to keep in mind, well, ito yung pinaka-importanting value, yung 8GB, yun yung capacity niya. Anyway, so 8 gigs, yun yung target size natin. Itong frequency niya, the thing you have to remember about this is basically the faster the better dito sa frequency na to. So DDR4 siya. Itong CL19, ito yung latency number niya. Anyway, long story short, ito naman the lower the better. So 19 is a bit high, pero mura siya. So let's keep this guy in mind. So 1950, pasok siya dun sa budget natin. Kaso medyo we get what we paid for. Medyo mura. Mabagal siya. Let's check. Ito, this is also RAM, kaso usually for laptops to or smaller ITX type ng motherboards, kasi mas maliit yung size niya. So tawag dito is SODIMM, yung isa is UDIMM, I think. DIMM lang pala. So hindi compatible yan. Ito meron tayong RAM stan na 8GB. So this is a bit faster at 3000. And it has a slightly better CL number. Yung kanina 19 kasi, so ito 16, 18, 18, 18. Kaso wala siya masyadong reviews and I'm not too familiar with the brand. So let's keep that in mind. Ano pa yung meron tayo? So we have Team, kaso SODIMM siya. Okay, so we have Kingston na 8GB. So 2050, just slightly above yung budget. And CL16 siya, so it's much better than yung Kingston budget RAM natin na CL19. It's a bit slower than dito sa Ramax, kaso I would trust Kingston more. Okay, some of you who are familiar with RAM, meron tayong tinatawag na dual channel and single channel na RAM. Yung dami ng slots. Basically, how many kaya niya gamitin yung RAM sticks mo in parallel. Anyway, pag dual channel, mas mabilis basically. Pero you need 2 sticks to use that. So, for 8 gigs na capacity, we can look for isang single stick na 8 gig or dalawang 4 gig. Pero with this computer na ginagawa natin for CAT, I think we want room for upgradability. Kung bibili tayo ng dalawang 4 gig na sticks, nakatali na siya doon. So, she'll need to resell those sticks. Puno na yung motherboard niya. She'll have to sell that. Tapos get dalawang 8 gig na stick kung mag-upgrade siya. So, for now, I think we'll just be getting 1 8 gig na stick. Para pag nag-upgrade later in the future, bibili lang ng another 8 gig na stick. Just slap it in. Magsi-single channel operation lang muna siya, pero she's not doing anything intensive, so it should be fine. She wouldn't notice the difference. Okay, so these guys are basically the same price din, kaso these are from different suppliers. Ito, add ko to cart. So meron tayong 2050. That's the cheapest dito sa mga Kingston eh. We could go further down, kaso pamahal na yun na pamahal eh, and we probably won't be going there kasi we're tight on our budget. Tapos one of the good things dito, makikita mo sa ratings niya, so 5 star, more or less 5 star, 4.7, 4.6, and the seller has a good rating. Let's check yung feedback nila. And here, it looks like they respond kung may issues. Ito may 1 star siya, pero they responded. So, they're willing to exchange the warranty. So the majority of these are 5 stars. Okay, so I think we're good with this. Double check lang natin sa Shopee if we have better pricing. Ay, bakit Shopee natin? So support 8 GB DDR4. 8 GB DDR4 filter na RAM from Metro Manila and South Luzon. Let's set a threshold sa price. And let's sort from... Bakit ganito yung website ni Shopee? I think this means low to high LTH, so let's select that. So we have this guy 1,800, kaso we don't know the brand. We have this again. I think it's from, is it from the same seller? Best Time. Yeah, it's from the same guy. Pero dito, it's 50 pesos cheaper for some reason. Okay, so sakto sa budget now. So let's note na dito natin siya sa Shopee kukunin. So we're going with a Kingston HyperX 2666 megahertz ata yun. Ayan na CL16 for 2,000 pesos. And first item na pumasok sa budget. For our SSD purchase, I came across this SSD buying guide on Reddit. It's by Numax1. It's still a work in progress, but he provides a PDF flowchart here for SSD selection. Stuff on the right are faster and most likely more expensive. Stuff on the left are cheaper, but usually they skip some components to make that drop down in price. Hindi ako masyadong familiar sa different brands ng SSD. Pero ang sure lang ako is if you want the best sa SSD, you buy Samsung. They have the best quality, the fastest performing solid state drives, but they're also the most expensive. So you could go Samsung if you have extra cash and ayaw mo namang iisip. They're hands down the best. Pero we're working on a budget, so we'll probably work our way down to the left and select a SSD for CAT. I think we'll have to go with one of these guys. Kasi majority of the reviews are good naman. And this is covered by warranty. So I think we're very limited by our budget and this is the best that we can do. So it's the same product. Ito tsaka ito, but this is 200 pesos cheaper. Na masyado na tayong hectic sa budget natin. So we'll just have to make this work. So we'll go with the Kingston A400 120GB SSD at 1,292. Kingston A400 120GB SSD. Okay, natagalan tayo dun but we're under budget for once. Next, dahil maliit lang yung size ng SSD natin, we need to get a decent sized hard disk drive, and the budget here was around 1.5. I don't think we can fit that in. 1.5. Parang nasa 2,000 yung mga 1 tera eh. I typically go Western Digital. Okay din naman yung Seagate. Just a matter of taste. Sige, let's skip the brand 1 terabyte. So, hard disk drives. Let's see. 2.3, may 1 tera na Seagate at 2,000. It's limited to NCR. Do you have anything lower? Start from here to choose. So we have my 1.5. Is this so isang rating plus the name GK2 with 46% positive ratings doesn't sound too encouraging. Mukhang yun na yung best price natin for a 1 terabyte hard disk drive, so $2,000 for a Seagate Barracuda from PC Works sa Shopee. Limited to Metro Manila and South Luzon, tapos South from Luzon. Umayos na siya. Bakit kung ano-anong pinapakita niya? Let's set a minimum filter na 1,200. Max 2,500. Okay, so we have Seagate ulit. So we only have one sold. Bakit magkaiba? Binibenta niya yung same competitor na hard disk under the same product header. I don't trust this guy. Okay, so chew. Nope. So I think yun yung best price natin sa Lazada. Okay, so in total natin dito was 3,000 yung target. Here, 3,250. It's slightly over, pero I think I'm happy with this na may 120 gig SSD siya tapos 1 terabyte. So marami siyang pwede pag-downloadan ng files, pag-install ng programs, tapos yung boot up niya, yung takbo ng core programs niya na ilalagay niya sa SSD, yung mabilis. Compromise dahil sa budget. Okay, so we're gonna look for the cheapest non-generic PSU we can find. For our power supply unit, we'll be referencing this tier list from the Linus Tech Tips forum. Basically, most of the major brands and models, and they've even included some obscure ones, have been listed in here based on their performance and application, as well as their tendency to burn your house down. So, we'll be checking kung ano yung makita natin sa Shopee or Lazada na pasok sa budget natin, na pinakamataas na specs na pasok sa budget natin, and then we'll check it against this listing if hindi sasabog yung computer natin. So, if pasado siya sa budget and pasado siya dito, we'll stick with that PSU. Pero if hindi kaya sa budget, we'll give higher priority sa safety. So, kahit lumampas tayo ng konti, I think that will be okay as long as we get a power supply na is at least decent with regards to its components. Anyway, I think we'll have to go with the Corsair CB450. I think siya yung cheapest na I'll be happy na ipagkatiwala yung computer ni Kat. And it's a bit pricey, 2399. We're over budget, we might have to adjust somewhere later. I've been using yung VS450, which is yung older model nitong CB450, and these have been running for years. So, medyo may tiwala ako dito kaso it's a bit on the pricey side. Sa Shopee, wala siyang ganun, no? 70, tapos hindi masyadong, halos same price lang. Nakaka-stress itong sa power supply. Sa case, we need to go for the cheapest functional case that we can get. So we can't be too picky dito. Aha. So we have a couple here. We have this guy. Let's sort from low to high. So sa Lazada, it's Mr. Sunso PC. Meron ba siyang ano sa loob, how it looks? Please, 1, 2, 3, 6 yung errors. Ang laki Usually lang yung errors na yun eh. 80x micro 80x yung size niya. Let's check sa Shopee. We have this guy. Bakit magkaiba yung price? 950, 750 yung micro ATX. 2 USB slots sa harapan. May mic, may headphone jack, power and reset. Neutron audible. Bakit iba-iba yung picture niya? Hindi, so hindi yung ATC. Which is which? Alin dito yun? Nakakalito naman. Nope. I didn't know that Dell made dalawa talaga to. Ano ba talaga ng case si Dell? Did they really just put the Dell branding doon sa PC case? Anyway, we're just after the case. Okay, so this looks decent. Wala na tayong masyadong options eh. This guy, sabog-sabog yung store niya, tsaka mas mahal. This is at $599. Okay yung ratings. Napakaganda yung case size. Bakit yung sa akin walang logo ng Dell? So it's not a Dell case. May shipping dito, pero at this point I could pretty much care less about a case. Ito Dell Odyssey Micro din daw, kaso what? So this has red, this has green. I think mas okay itong itsura ng pula kaysa dito's green. Okay, so we'll go with the Dell Odyssey Micro ATX CPU. Although I doubt na actually Dell to, must be some Chinese stuff. Okay, so our just functional case, let's put that in quotes. This is the Dell Odyssey Micro ATX case at $599. So at least for this part, we've saved a bit. Next, we'll look for keyboard and mouse. Let's go back to Lazada. Oh, 225. Do we risk it? Mixi. Baka parang yung sa ano lang kasi to eh. Yung sa nabibili sa CDR King yung sobrang mura tapos ang daling masira. Yeah. I think I'll pass on this one. Radu at 400. Magkano ba yung ating ano? Ever trustworthy na A4 Tech? Yeah, it's solid na 999. Kaso we'll need to try to save here kasi over budget tayo sa ibang ano natin eh. Okay, so we have an A4 Tech dito at $395. This is from Lazada. This is from... Next, we look for speakers. Yung fallback ko is yung Genius na speaker kasi I've used this a lot. It's cheap, it works. I'm not really an audiophile. There, it's good old Genius, $495. Oh, may kaso galing Davao del Sur. Might have issues sa shipping. Sort from low to high. May 428, 48. $495. So it's a matter of color. I have to ask Kat kung anong gusto niyang kulay. Bakit yung may 6 ata cables? And let's roll with this. So, secure 500 watts AVR. Medyo napahaba tayo sa episode na to, but it was worth it. Nakompleto na natin yung listing ng gusto nating parts, and we've done our best to make it fit doon sa budget ni Kat. Excited na din ako na orderin ito online, and by next week, pag dumating yung parts, we'll be building the actual computer. Yay! Excited na ako makita yung reaction ni Kat once sinimulan niya yung pag-build kasi siya yung papagawin natin ng computer. And yung gusto ko makita yung performance nung bagong computer niya. I mean, it's not high spec, pero I'm expecting it to be much better than the current laptop that she's using. So to those who watched up until now, thank you for sticking around. I hope that you've learned something new or you found this interesting. How do you find this new format that we're trying out? A talking head tapos doing stuff on screen. May suggestions ba kayo? Points of improvement? Or mga nice words lang? We'd love to hear from you. Please leave your thoughts in the comment section below. So once again, on behalf of Rose, this has been Robin for Robin and Rose, and stay tuned until our next episode where we build the actual computer. Bye-bye!
Wow, malinis.
The actual computer once dumating your phone. So we'd love to hear from you. And we'd love to hear from you. Thank you for... If you enjoyed watching this video, please leave us a like. But if you thought it was terrible, you can also dislike.
We'd be honored if you would be part of our journey through our projects, marriage, and life.
Stay updated whenever we release new content by subscribing and hitting the bell notification icon below.